Guys, so what I'm going to talk about in this video is a really great way to get somebody to relive an experience that they had back in time that made them feel really good. And one of the things that I really preach on this channel is when it comes to just meeting more people, getting into relationships, making friends, or just talking to anybody, if we can get somebody to associate feeling good when they talk to you, they're naturally going to like you more. So what I'm going to talk about, like I said, is a great way to get somebody to remember something. And this can be, it's not necessarily a question like my title says, but it's a couple words that we're going to add into whatever kind of question that you're going to be asking. So there is a question because the question is whatever question you want to ask. And I'll give you some examples off the top of my head in this video to just demonstrate what we're going to talk about. So before I get into this, if you do like what you see, please give it a thumbs up, man. I would really appreciate that. Very small channel. You would help promote the video into YouTube's algorithm, and then more people can see this. So we're going to talk about the sentence. I think it's a sentence structure. Do you remember when? That's what I want to talk about. So that just should be very obvious. If we're talking about remembering something, do you remember when? So examples of, let's say that you were talking to a guy or a girl and you remember, or you guys, like, let's say you remember that they went on like a cruise to the Bahamas, and let's say a couple weeks gone by, and a couple weeks have gone by and they haven't done like anything like that. Hey, do you remember that time where you went on that cruise to the Bahama with all your friends? Oh my God, yeah. I don't think I ever asked you about that. Can we talk about that? Like, to kind of tell me what was your experience like going to the Bahamas? I know I remember you said that you were really excited for that, and so I want to talk about that. And then, oh my God, dude, it was a phenomenal time. We ended up going for like a week, and then I had Susie, Bobby, Billy, and Lisa with me. I'm just naming names right here. And we were on the boat for the most part, but there were a couple times where we got to get off the boat. Yeah, hey, the boat sounds like it was a really fun time. And knowing you, girl, man, I know you like the party. Did you get that all-you-can-drink package? Oh, yeah, I definitely got that one. It was so much fun. Well, tell me, what did you do on the boat? Let's start there. Oh, we did like blah, 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 blah. So right there, do you remember when you went on a cruise to the Bahamas? Now you're getting him or her. So I think I was mainly talking to a girl in that example. Now she has to think about and relive that moment of being on the boat, especially with the all-you-can-drink package. Another thing you can say is, let's say you were talking to like a guy that powerlifts, for example, and he won first place in the state. And now he's like moving on to, I don't know if they do like what's the word for it? Like country like competitions or whatnot. Like, you know how bodybuilding has like normal bodybuilding, and then you move up to nationals, and then you can do like nationals as your pro card, and then you can go into Olympia. I don't know, let's say bodybuilding's like that. So hey man, do you remember your first time going to a powerlifting meet, and you remember when you won first place over everybody in that competition? Yeah, bro, that was sick, man. I don't think I ever like talked to you about that, man. What was that like? Because I mean, you're on to bigger and better things now, bro. But like I remember when you first started, man, you were small, and look at you now, you're fucking huge now, man. So that was another example of like getting him to remember that competition that he was in. And of course, since he won, naturally that's gonna make him feel good, even because he's a guy, even if he doesn't show it. And when you talk about something that makes somebody feel good, they're just naturally going to associate those good feelings with you. And that's exactly what it is that I'm trying to help you do in this video. And so, of course, this question right here the way I'm phrasing it is I'm talking about, do you remember when? So like, this is a question that you would ask somebody when you know they did something that happened in the past. So this isn't a question that you would kind of ask like a random stranger, because you don't know anything about that. However, if you do know the person, again, that could be your friend, an acquaintance, guy friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, it doesn't matter. Is if you've known them for a while and you know they did something, then you could, or I mean, like, if you want to get like negative, and I don't ever recommend you get negative, but like if you're talking to a girl because I just added somebody on Facebook that I used to see at the gym, she got engaged to this one personal trainer, and I don't know if they're together anymore. You can say, hey, do you remember when you were engaged to that one dude, blah, 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 blah. I thought you guys were getting married, man. What happened to that? So that would kind of bring up like negative feelings. But like if you're, let's say like you like this girl and you want to ask her out, well, that would be a way to get her to explain like kind of what went wrong. And then, depending on the conversation, you'd be like, oh, well, why don't you and I get together sometime now that you're officially single? So that would be an example of a way that you could bring up like something negative. I don't really recommend that you do that unless you really know the person really well. Because like if that's somebody like new that you're you want to get intimate with, or it's a random stranger, you should never associate negative feelings with yourself. Like if you're dating somebody and you've been with them for a while, or you've known a friend for a couple years, at that point it's fine because you guys are going to go through like up and downs. But this question again, it's just not only are you getting, so all these questions that I teach you guys, man, they do two things mainly. The first one is you're getting this person to relive a very good experience. So naturally they're going to feel good when they talk to you. But not only that, because you're talking about their life, they get to talk about themselves, and they get to talk, people love talking about themselves. So because they're talking about themselves and they're talking about themselves to you, they're not going to think about it, but it's going to be like a subconscious connection. Like, hey, this person actually wants to get to know me. A lot of these questions that I talk about in my videos, especially the ones that I just filmed today, are all designed to like build real and deeper connections with people. And the way you do that is by asking the person to talk about themselves. Now, I do want to go ahead and say, since I'm rambling right now, that if you do talk to somebody, any chance you get to be relatable, you need to take that, okay? One of the biggest conversation killers is when you're asking the person so many different questions, but you're not able to relate to them in any way, shape, or form. Even like if somebody went to like, I think, no, a cruise. I've lived in Florida. I've never been on a cruise, but I could say, hey, I've never been to the Bahamas or been on a cruise. However, I have traveled in the past. Like I took my ex-girlfriend up to Tennessee one time, and I get it's not a cruise or Bahamas, but dude, me traveling for the first time, it was a fucking awesome experience. So I imagine that's probably what it felt like when you were on the cruise. So like I can like relate to that in some way. Not, I mean, obviously not a cruise, but like in a different way. So you could still be relatable in that way, like based on how you say things, okay? Because going on a cruise is still traveling. Going to Tennessee is still traveling. So even though I've never been on a cruise, though I've lived in Florida my whole life, 30 years. Although I've never been on a cruise, I can still be relatable to the person in some way. And then if I'm relatable about like traveling in this case, well, if the other person's been to Tennessee or if they've traveled other places, now we can talk about traveling, because we're gonna be like, oh, well, maybe we both enjoy traveling. We've both had the same experience. That's why I said you want to be relatable, because being relatable means, hey, this person has done what I've done. We like the same things. Cool. I kind of like this person. That's what it does. So this question, the do you remember when, is used mainly to get somebody to relive a past experience where they had a good time. That's the really important thing, okay? Because again, to finish the video, we want people to feel good when it comes to talking to you. You'll make more friends. You'll talk to more people. More people will like you if you just start talking about themselves, guys. So if you like this, man, please like, comment, and subscribe. And hey, man, if you remember watching one of my videos I'm trying to practice. Hey, if you like this video, guys, and you want to get better at learning social skills and just getting more confident and meet more friends, check this one out right here, man. It's what my whole channel does. This video will help you do that. Hey, man, I'll see you in the next one.